You worked at Google Plus early on, right?
I did, yeah. I was there for its inception.
Loved
The first 6 or 7.
loved Google Plus. What went wrong?
It's easy for me in hindsight to pick holes in it. I think the biggest thing that went wrong was a lack of focus. I think Google Plus did a lot of things and did a lot of the same things that Facebook did. And there were some things that were better than Facebook, but honestly, the kind of advantage or the increase in value that it had over Facebook was so small that people weren't going to move. There's like a lot of social dynamics and inertia at play here. And the example I used to use back in the day was, if you have a kind of a dingy nightclub. By the way, this was an apt analogy back then because Facebook was a bit buggy and a bit rough around the edges. If you have a dingy nightclub and it's like happening in there and people are having the time of their lives and it's full, and someone opens a new nightclub next door, which is nicer and a bit fancier and shinier and the edges are better, but it's basically the same. You're just not moving everyone in next door. Right. That's not how social dynamics work.
MySpace was like the worst dingy nightclub. Facebook capitalized on how horrible MySpace was, right?
Yeah, I think they're fundamentally different, though. Facebook was grounded in like real life friendships. That's where it started from. Whereas I don't know what MySpace was. Originally bands, I guess, but people who didn't know each other often. It was such a ambiguous time. I think Facebook was the first company to truly understand the social dynamics at play and the things that real normal people actually wanted and needed.
Mark Zuckerberg's really proven to be a genius, I think, and continues to make these subtle moves, pulling the levers, and it's fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
I think I and my ilk, which were mostly tech journalists and enthusiasts, loved Google Plus because we could have, more cerebral conversations. It was more about a conversation than a news feed. And in my gut, I far preferred it. But I think we were obviously we were in the minority. I think it might have been as simple as that. Because I always wanted a threaded Twitter too, and I left Twitter for a number of threaded solutions like Jaiku. And nobody followed me because nobody wanted threads. They want this kind of disorganized mess that is Twitter. Yeah, I far prefer it. You write in your book Grouped that really the key to all of this is understanding how humans are behaviorally and have been for forever. Right? It seems new, but it's old wine in new bottles.
Yeah. That's the thing. The way I used to describe this to people was that technology changes very fast, but people and society don't. They change really slowly. And actually, in many cases, probably most cases, the motivations that people have actually stay the same. And it's the behaviors that change. And we actually do a lot of this at Intercom too in our design process. We actually try and look at what are the stable motivations that people have. Because they're usually very, very similar and very stable over time, and then design for those as opposed to designing for the latest kind of hot technology thing. And I think Google Plus suffered a bit from that. The team weren't studying the actual the deep lying sociological, psychological motivations, and pandering a bit too much to the technology, I think.
Yeah. That's always a risk with engineers and techies in general. We're enthusiasts for the new thing, and so we get sucked in by the shiny new thing, and we don't think about.
It's very easy.
Yeah, we don't think about our monkey minds.
Yeah, actually, or the fact that we live in a bubble. This is like we live in this crazy tech bubble. All of Silicon Valley is this bubble. Yeah. Most of the rest of the world does not operate this way.
Yeah. I highly recommend the book. I know people probably look at it and go, "Oh, a book about marketing and the internet from 5 years ago, that's got to be out of date." But no, it really is about kind of timeless things that have proven to be true, that are still true. And
I did write it to try and stand the test of time as much as possible.
Yeah.
That's not a pitch. That's actually what I tried to do.
Yeah.
So it's nice to hear that it's still relevant.
Yeah. And anybody who has to, market and plan a way to, the internet's made of people, and if you want to interact with people and sell your product to people, it's really valuable to learn about it.